Act 2, Scene 9. The scene takes place in a room in Portia's house. Introduction. In this scene, the second suitor, the Prince of Arragon, is coming to choose the right casket in order to win Portia. Fortunately for Portia, this prince also chooses the wrong casket. He chooses the silver casket. Portia tells Arragon that if he chooses the right casket, wherein her portrait is contained, immediately the marriage rites, the nuptial rites, will be solemnized. Arragon is bound to observe three things. He will not be disclosing to anyone which casket he chose. If he failed to choose the right casket, never in his life he will woo a lady for marriage. If he failed to choose the right casket, straight away he will leave the place and go away. Arrogance opinion on lead casket. He looks at the lead casket and says, "You shall look fairer," that means more beautiful, or means before I give or hazard. Now let's see Arrogant's opinion on gold casket. After reading the inscription on the gold casket, "If you choose me, you shall gain what many men desire." He reflects on many men. The prince meant that foolish masses, and he considers many men as foolish masses. Such people choose those things which look good outwardly. Such people do not learn more than what their sight can make them understand. They do not look inside or look for the inner meaning. And they are compared to the martlet, which builds a nest on the outer wall, which is exposed to the nature, where disaster can be forced, and which is on the path of danger, in the force and road of casualty. The prince thought that he would not go with what the common people desire. He does not want to go along with common people, and he calls them barbarous multitude and rank himself among the ignorant and foolish. His opinion on silver casket. The inscription on the silver casket said, "And one shall get as much as one deserves." The prince thought it was quite right. He thought a person cannot cheat fate by trying to be honorable without having on merit. One should not pretend to have the dignity that one does not deserve. He opines that if only estates, degrees, and offices were not obtained in a dishonest manner, and real honor was obtained through merit only, many who stand barehead without honor would have actually stood with their head covered with honor. Those whom we do not respect may receive respect if this condition is fulfilled. That is, estates and degrees and offices were not obtained in a dishonest manner. And many who are giving command today would have been commanded. Those who issue commands will have to obey commands. If estates, degrees, and offices were not obtained through corrupted means, how many low peasantry people without merit, not really noble, would then have been separated, gleaned from the present noble group? So, from the present noble group, there are many who do not have the merit to be there. So, they would be gleaned, separated, and definitely they will come to that group where no respect, no education, no honor is given. Conversely, how many noble people would then have been separated from the group, which presently lies in reign and given fresh honor? that is, among the low peasantry, among the poor, the people who are not respected, among them, when we really analyze and evaluate, we will definitely find a few who really have the merit to belong to that class, which demands respect and honor. In this manner, he rejects the lead and the gold casket and finally chooses the silver casket. When he opens the silver casket, he finds the portrait of a blinking idiot, presenting him a scroller's schedule. How he feels that it's not similar to Portia and does not match his hopes and deservings. Portia replies that to offend and judge are two distinct offices and of opposed natures. That means to commit an offense, that is choosing the wrong casket, and to pass judgment on the offense are quite different actions. Because of their nature, they are opposed to each other. So you cannot commit an error and then pass judgment on that. Yeah. And what does the scroll say? The the silver casket was refined in the fire 7 times. A correct judgment that does not go wrong is also tested 7 times. There are many people who believe in what is not real, illusion. Such people get only illusory happiness that will not last, or transient happiness. There are some foolish people who are disguised by the silvery hair of old age, because silvery hair was considered as a symbol of wisdom and right judgment. No matter whom you will take as your wife, you will remain a foolish person. So go away, your chance is over. And Portia compares Arragon to a moth that goes to bright light and gets burnt. She calls him a deliberate fool, a fool who gives possible reasons or justifications for their foolish actions. Nerissa shares a view by quoting a well-known proverb: marriage and death are decided by destiny. At the end of the scene, a servant of Portia comes to inform her that a young Venetian has arrived. He has come before in advance to announce the arrival of his master, from whom he brings fresh and substantial greetings. That means costly gifts apart from compliments and greetings. Never did he exclaims and says that never did a day in April come so sweet to show how beautiful was the summer approaching. So, you know, in April we get a foretaste of the summer that is to come. The same way, this wonderful and attractive messenger gives you a glimpse of what is going to happen in the future. That is the real person, the real suitor that is to come. If the messenger is such a wonderful person, then definitely uh, the suitor that is to come will be much, much better than the messenger. After listening to the servant, Portia humorously comments that she is half afraid that he would soon say the messenger who has just arrived is some relative of his, because there's a lot of exaggeration in the description of the messenger. Nerissa prays fervently that it should be Bassanio. In conclusion, in this scene we see that the Prince of Aragon makes his choice of casket, and he dismisses gold because it's coveted by many men, and he will not rank himself with the barbarous multitudes. He chooses silver, thinking that men should get only what they deserve, and he obviously deserves Portia. But he opens the casket to find the head of a blinking fool. Silver stands for conceit and self deception, both exhibited by Arragon and his choice. The scene ends with the news of the arrival of the messenger, heralding the arrival of his lord. as suitor. Both Nerys and Pooja are excited and hope it is Bassanio.